Welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a piece of hardware that is quietly, well, it is basically killing off the HDMI cable as we know it.
Yeah, it really is.
We are talking about the Just Add Power VBS-HDIP-708POE.
Or just the 708 POE if we want to save some breath today.
Right, exactly. So we are looking at the product specs and details provided by HDTV Supply. And on the surface, it is just a transmitter. You plug an HDMI source in, and it sends the video out over a network. But the mission here for this deep dive is to unpack how this device bridges that gap between massive, complex 4K signals and the streamlined flexibility of a standard Ethernet network.
Yeah, because why do we need a specialized box for this, right? I mean, people ask, can we not just run a long cable and call it a day?
You could if you enjoy massive headaches.
Exactly. It is about taking high-end AV and making it behave like simple data.
So let's talk about that signal, because if I'm plugging in a high-end media server, what is actually making it across the network? Probably losing quality to fit it down the pipe.
Surprisingly very little. The 708 POE handles 4K video at 30 Hz, but the key stat here really is the 444 color space support with HDR.
Which, for the non-engineers listening, means we aren't crushing the color data.
Right. Cheaper transmitters compress color information to save bandwidth, which makes fine text look blurry or colors just look washed out. This keeps it crisp all the way from 480p up to 2160p. But honestly, the video isn't even the most impressive part.
It's the audio, right? Usually that is the afterthought in these AV over IP systems.
Oh, for sure. But not here. It explicitly supports lossless audio formats, including Dolby Atmos.
That is huge.
It really is. It means you can have a centralized rack in the basement, send the video to a projector 3 rooms away, and still get the full, uncompressed, immersive audio experience in your home theater.
Okay, so the quality definitely holds up. But let's look at the rack itself. If I have, say, 20 of these things for a sports bar, that is a whole lot of power bricks.
That is where the POE in the name saves you. It uses 802 dot of power over Ethernet.
Meaning it draws standard wattage directly from your network switch.
Right. You eliminate the wall warts entirely. Though it does have an optional power input for 4.7 to 23 volts if you aren't using PoE. Plus, it is super compact, just 5 inches wide, 4.9 inches deep, and 1.2 inches high.
So it fits easily into rack systems. And speaking of the racks, I have seen setups where you breathe on them wrong and a screen goes blank because a cable wiggled loose. Does this thing actually stay plugged in?
That is a legitimate nightmare for installers. Just Add Power actually addressed this with locking thread screws on the HDMI input. You can physically bolt the cable to the chassis.
That sounds minor, but if you ever had to drive an hour to a client's house just to push a cable back in 2 millimeters, that is a lifesaver.
It absolutely is.
Now, I want to challenge the usability claims a bit. The spec sheet mentions instant seamless switching. Every switcher claims to be seamless. Is this actually different?
It really is. In a traditional HDMI matrix, when you switch sources, the display and the source have to do a handshake. The screen goes black for 3, maybe 5 seconds.
Right, the dreaded black screen.
Yeah. This device basically fakes that handshake so the connection never drops. You switch from the game to a movie and it cuts instantly.
Like a TV broadcast. That feels much more premium. And the control options back that up. It has two-way RS-232 control, so it acts as an extension of control systems, and CEC control, which is active on many automation platforms.
Plus, it has image pull and video wall capabilities. Image pull allows you to pull a preview frame of the video stream onto a control interface like an iPad.
So instead of guessing that input 1 is the football game,
Yep.
You can actually see a live snapshot on your remote before sending it to the main TV.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out entirely.
Now, there is one weird quirk if you actually want to buy this thing. I went to the HDTV Supply site, found the product, and there is absolutely no price listed.
Yeah, that is very intentional. Just Add Power prohibits authorized dealers like HDTV Supply from showing prices online.
To protect their 3-year warranty status, right?
Exactly. If you see a price publicly, it is usually a gray market item sold by someone unauthorized, which means 0 warranty. So you actually have to call them at 833-WOLFPACK to get a quote.
833-WOLFPACK. So it is a bit of friction, but it proves you are buying legitimate hardware with that full warranty.
It is basically an anti-scalper measure for pro hardware.
So to sum it up, we have a device that acts as a bridge. It combines high-fidelity 4K and Dolby Atmos quality with the convenience of Ethernet networking.
It stops treating video like a fragile signal and treats it like network traffic.
Which leaves me with a final thought for you listening. With devices like this making AV over IP so seamless, are we seeing the final days of traditional dedicated video cabling in professional installs? Think about it.